What's really good, everybody? Mike Lang, one half of the Intelligent Hoodlums, back one more time with the homie Webbs. It is Monday Eve, unfortunately. Or fortunately, it's good to be alive. It's just not cool to have Monday Eve this close to the hustle. What say you, Webbs?
Indeed, it's been a restorative weekend, and also it could be longer.
Indeed. I mean, we had 5 days off, but it feels like that went really, really quickly, like extremely quickly.
Indeed.
Um,
Yep.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it is I'm not a holiday person. I've never been a holiday person, but it's the holiday season where people, put all kind of stuff on their houses and make lights go and all that kind of wonderful stuff.
That's
So
what I did yesterday.
yes, just do within reason, please, people. Like some of the stuff is like, come on, fam, come on. Just because you got lights don't mean you have to put all of them on your house, or the 7 foot tall snowman perhaps can not be something that you utilize this year, perhaps.
My mom would wholeheartedly agree with you, as she's currently warring with her neighbors over their Griswoldian decorations.
Pretty pleased with sugar on top. Like, everybody's trying to be. Actually, I am kind of a Grinchish person doing this sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
you really are.
I mean, just how I get down, but I'm just like tone it down just a little bit. On top, just a little bit. Anyway, it is the time of giving and all that stuff. So tonight's show, we're going to talk about Cyber Monday, that famous internet holiday that sweeps the nation, which is even more palatable and powerful this year in that, a lot of stores are either not going to have the extended hours that they would usually have, or it might not be safe to go to the extended hours of a lot of these stores. And Cyber Monday sales are going to be very, very attractive, not only to parents, but also to teachers, since that at least locally, a lot of your work is still going to be done, whether we go hybrid, whether we go full distance, whatever. A lot of your work is going to be done sitting in your computer in your home. So making that space as comfortable as possible, as accommodating as possible, for the right price. And we're going to kind of just talk about things that perhaps you should look into if you were a home remote worker or whatever. And we have a remote worker here with us who was a full-time remote worker. So we will
I
have
mean,
to.
technically, aren't you a remote worker now too?
Yeah, but my remote status can be revoked at the drop of a dime, unfortunately. So
That's true. That's
I am
true.
a temporary remote worker until again. I don't foresee us going back to school full time just because Thanksgiving being what it was, and Christmas is not yet upon us. And I just feel that the numbers are not going to be very, very good. So, but Cyber Monday tomorrow, a lot of sales from Black Friday have extended themselves either through Cyber Monday or to the rest of the week. We're going to talk a little bit about you know different things you might want to purchase: software, hardware, tech things, not so tech things that might be cool. But as we I want to do, we'll start with our Ask a Software Dev question. And Webs, I guess the question for on the table is like, in the grand scheme of things, as someone who works from home generally, and I'm going to ask this: what is the strangest thing that you have purchased and rationalized as a this I need this for my remote working sanity?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say probably the green screen
Okay.
because I mostly, I mean, it's definitely useful because like behind this is like the guest bed for my like office or whatever because my office is like the guest room.
Uh,
So it's mostly currently being used to like hide things with the idea that like, oh, I can use it for backgrounds or recording videos or whatever. But in terms of like the thing that I most felt like it was a want and not a real need,
Yeah.
that's probably the thing that would fall under that category, because I everything else I purchased has definitely been like with this idea that I spend a lot of time at my in my office. So I spend my workday at my office. I work on hoodlum stuff at the office, in my office. I spend a good chunk of my time in this office. So I wanted to make sure that it was a space that was ergonomically beneficial, that I wasn't causing myself undue injury. Like, for example, one of the things I haven't noticed was like my back started to get really sore. And presently I have, and we'll talk about this later. I have this chair right here. Like currently I'm standing because here's the little standy thing that I stand on. But so yeah, I had noticed that I was getting this weird back pain, and my old desk chair had arms on it, and I realized I was leaning to one side on the arms of the chair, and that's what was inflicting this back pain, because I was constantly like putting all my weight to one side and then stretching out the left side of my body.
Mm.
So you'd be amazed the little things you don't think about that over weeks of time will end up like wrecking your body, whether it's RSI, repetitive strain injury on your wrists from not using a proper device. Like when I first got my laptop, when I joined ThoughtWorks, I didn't have a mouse because I was mobile a lot. So I was just using the trackpad, and I started to get pain in my wrist from using the trackpad so frequently, because you can't do that for 8 hours at a time and not have some negative outcome from it. So I had to get a mouse. I every so often will get lazy and not want to use my mouse, and then I end up hurting, like my wrist starts to hurt again, and I remind myself like, no, you idiot, you have to use your mouse. So I forget what your question was, but those are some of the
That
things that
was
I
like the
use.
strangest thing. Like, what's the most valuable thing that you have purchased for your remote working hustle?
My desk, definitely my desk. So there is a very nice brand of desk called Uplift, and it's a like you custom build it. It raises and lowers with a little motor. So like right now I'm in the standing mode, but I have four little buttons that will do preset levels that my desk is at. And I needed a new desk because the desk that I had was very small. I like the way my setup is. I have my laptop to my left, and then I have a 34-inch screen that I'm talking to you over right now, and then I have my Blue Yeti microphone, which is on a boom, and then I have my keyboard just on my desk. And so I decided to spend the money to get the uplift desk so that I could, because one of the things I noticed was like, I want to be able to stand, but I was using a cardboard. There's a cardboard standing desk you can purchase on Amazon for like $25, which actually was a great like beta to see if, okay, am I really going to use standing desk? Do I actually like it? I used that for a good year and a half, I think. And sometimes I just like stack boxes so that my laptop will be up higher so I could stand, because I do spend a lot of time, like I mentioned. And so I don't want all of that time to be sitting, which is why I really wanted a standing desk. And I debated getting like the manual one and whatever, but it is a business expense. So technically Webs on the Webs purchased the desk for me, which is why I decided to invest in a really high quality, very stable desk where I could switch the heights very easily. So I frequently throughout the day will go from sitting to standing, standing to sitting. And
Mm.
it came with this really cool little rocker thing. It's like a skateboard that doesn't move. So if you see me bopping back and forth, that's probably why, especially if I'm in standing mode, because like it's great for fidgeting. And also it's nice because it's cushioned. So it's just really pleasant to stand on.
Word. Well,
Yeah.
very interessante. So again, that's somebody who is full time remote, was full time remote before the pandemic as well. Um, so desk, having a desk that's quality. Just upgraded my desk. I have this nice little L desk here, which my thing was space. My desk was just the machine, just the stuff that I had, just being having enough space to like turn around and move and touch different stuff. That was kind of important. Uh, so super dope, super dope. Um, have you ever regretted purchasing something that you thought you were going to use for your remote, and you're like, hey, that didn't work out?
That's a great question. Yes. So I knew that I wanted a second monitor because I didn't have one at all. I was just working on my laptop. Knew that I wanted a second monitor. I didn't know much about monitors at the time. I now know a lot about monitors. And so I purchased a monitor thinking, and I even asked my roommate, and he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter." Well, what I failed to realize was his response of "it doesn't matter" was with the context that he assumed I already knew a lot about monitors, and there was a lot that I was missing. And so I ended up buying, I happened to buy, so I got a curved monitor. The curve was great. That's like, I thought that was really neat. I really like that feature. I like the size of it, whatever. Unfortunately, I bought that monitor first and then I got my desk and I got arms for my desk. So like they can be adjusted up and down and side to side. The monitor arms are great. I have a little stand that converts the monitor arm to put my laptop on it. Unfortunately, there's a universal mounting system called VESA, I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
Mm.
And I just so happened to purchase a monitor that did not have pre-built-in VESA mounting. And usually you can buy like an adaptation piece to make your monitor VESA mountable. I happened to purchase one of the few monitors on the market where there are only 2 places that you can purchase those, and they're all sold out and impossible to get.
Wow.
So I was really frustrated and ended up just buying a completely new monitor.
And you
So
have some suggestions when we get to the hardware part about what kind of monitors you should purchase.
I definitely do.
Right.
And I think it's important too to point out that like everyone's situation is different. So I am very fortunate to be in a position where like I have my own company. My company purchases the things that I need for my desk. So I'm really lucky that way. And I know not everyone has that opportunity or doesn't have those resources available. And so I try to keep some of that in mind. I know some folks are super hardcore serious and do have the resources to like go all out. So we try to present like a range of things that you could use. And it all depends on like what your situation is and what's important to you. I will say, I'm going to harp on this a lot though. Ergonomics matter. I know a lot of folks who are like at their dining room table and just sitting on their dining room chair or on a folding chair or something. Ergonomics matter. And in the long term, you can really injure yourself by not having proper ergonomics. So that is something to keep in mind.
Facts, facts, facts. Indeed, indeed. So, let's just again the Cyber Monday thing, the topic today. A lot of and I'm just gonna throw this out here as small business owners. If you can throw money at small businesses that might be able to handle your orders and stuff, that's always a good thing. Are you gonna have the convenience of Amazon overrule that a lot of times? Absolutely, positively. There are going to be things that Amazon's going to be able to get to you in a day or two that small business X might take 10 days to get to you. So, but a lot of small businesses, and we've highlighted a few. We do have some Amazon links on the links that we're going to share with you today. But I try to make sure that a lot of these smaller companies that I've been riding with since they were Kickstarter companies, that I try to purchase things from them generally 3 or 4 times a year. Uh, higher higher price ideas and items, but items that are going to, if you're a teacher or you have a child, they're going to teach those students and give those students some skills in a real sense that perhaps they might not otherwise get from school. So let's talk hardware first, Webs. In terms of hardware, like what would be like something you would suggest, whether they choose the tool or the idea that you chose or something in that similar vein? What would be something as a piece of hardware you would say, I'm a teacher person, check this piece of hardware out?
Oh, dang. So many choices, so difficult. I'm going to say having a second screen is really helpful. And I think you can so the second screen that I was going to suggest is also portable. It's not like a huge second screen, but it's big enough that like it will give you some options of like having a place to drag other windows. If you want to record only one window, yeah, it's the Asus 15.6 portable monitor. And another reason I think this is really helpful is I know not everybody has a dedicated space to work. So it's really nice to be able to like flip it open, plug it into your machine, have it as a second screen. If you need to work and like pick it up and move, you can. When we are eventually back to traveling a bunch, like it'll be nice to be able to fold it up, put it in your bag, take it with you when you travel, when you go to school, if you want to work at like a cafe or something. So I think that's a good choice as far as a second monitor goes. It's not super pricey. It's $100, or maybe a little more than $100, but, that'll give you that second screen, which I think alleviates a lot of frustration of, oh my gosh, I'm so limited, especially if you're working off of something like a Chromebook where it's a really small real estate, like 10 inches of real estate, and that's all you got. If you're working from a Mac, you can do Sidecar with an iPad. So that might be a better option. I'm not going to talk any further about that, but that is definitely something I think would be really beneficial. I have a couple other things, but I'm going to let you go next.
All right, cool. And I'm gonna kind of like pivot back to hardware being an idea and not necessarily a tech thing. All right. So, um, one of the things that if you follow me on social media, if you are a friend of mine personally, if you watch this show, I am a nap connoisseur. Naps are paramount for me to be able to function on a daily basis. And I think that naps not only are good for adult peoples, but they are also good for little peoples. But one of the cool things the cool experience I've had in my career was going to Taiwan and teaching. And right after lunch, everyone in the school went to sleep. Everyone took a nap. It was a 45-minute like leave everyone alone period. And it was really, really one of the things that changed the way that I looked at education as this like hard and fast, immutable situation to why can't we have school where kids take naps? And so my piece of hardware, my can't miss piece of hardware would be make sure you get a desk pillow. Now, at my day job, I have my pillow in my classroom. As soon as the school day is over, I take a 27-minute nap right on my desk. I don't go anywhere. I take a nap. As long as I don't have a meeting or anything to deal with after that. And so with that being the case, there are, and I'm going to, again, go to their Etsy. There are some stores on Etsy that do it, but really this is Botito does a very good pillow. Mama Rachel, she's watching. I still have my pillow from Taiwan. It is the one that I sleep on a daily basis at school. It's a little Winnie the Pooh pillow that you sit right there and I go to sleep. Really, really cool. But it's something you can position right on your desk. And that's what makes it like kind of quality. You put it right on your desk, take your little nap, handle your business, get up, nappuccinos. If you have not had a nappuccino before, you drink some coffee, you set a time for 27 minutes. It's going to take 25 minutes for that caffeine to hit your bloodstream. You wake up like you've had, the greatest night of sleep in your life. But that, I think naps have extended my teaching career multiple years. I think that in terms of patience with people and patience with students, most definitely. I don't think that I could do what I'm doing right now without the benefit of a nap. So that would be my piece of can't miss hardware. Webs.
Okay, my next one is going to be, and I just thought of it as you were talking, the Rocketbook. That's going to be my next pick.
Rocketbook.
Because I think one of the really cool things about the Rocketbook is it bridges that gap between being able to handwrite notes and capture them digitally. So, and also I like the fact that you're not using a whole bunch of paper. I mean, I love notebooks. We both love notebooks. But the cool thing about, I think I put the Rocketbook core on there, is that you can take your notes, and then down at the bottom, there's a series of symbols, and you can assign those symbols to go to various digital places. Like say, for example, a folder in your Google Drive. So you can take your notes, and then when you snap the picture with your smartphone, of or your iPad or whatever device you have that has the app on it. When you snap that photo, it sends it to your digital space so that you have it saved. And then when you're done, you just like squirt it with some water or something and wipe it off. And now you have a brand new page to start all over again. So I think the Rocketbook Core is great because it's as simple, like you can handwrite your notes, but saving them digitally is as easy as snapping a picture, which I think is really cool. And they give you great directions. When you download the app, it walks you through how to add something. You can email it to certain places. Like you have milieu options when it comes to where you want to send them digitally. So I think the Rocketbook's a really great choice as far as hardware goes.
Facts. And I mean, a lot of these is another thing we start talking about smaller companies. So, back Rocketbook, back when they were just a Kickstarter idea, this is 6, 7 years ago, or whatever. Really, really cool. I back if you're not, if you're, if you want to like pretend you're a Renaissance benefactor and help some of these companies out while benefiting from whatever product they're selling, they're peddling. Kickstarter is another place to kind of get in on the ground floor in terms of stuff. So this is Kickstarter's newest deal, and it is a legal pad. So it's just a clipboard, um, same technology. So this is my little pencil, my pen, where you can erase things and whatnot. Got two of them, so my wife has one as well. But it's just really, really cool. Sheets of paper are there. Here's my QR code, and like Webb said, there's all the places I can send. All I need to do is cross one of them out, and it will send that to my emails or multiple Google Drives or whatever. Um, Really convenient to have it like right here by my desk, so I can, if I'm taking a class or I'm taking notes on a kid, is those kids asking me questions, whatever, I can write those things down really quickly. I am more of a I don't like to take notes on my iPad. I know that's weird for a tech person. I don't like that. I like taking notes on sheets of paper. And I rely very, very much on like Adobe Scan and the Rocketbook in order to get my notes into my digital device into like Notability or something like that, where then I can go and kind of improve what I'm doing. But Rocketbook, I think that's a great, great, great tool to have added there, Webs. So in terms of my next piece of like hardware to deal with, and this is kind of super prescient right now. It's the ever present ring light, and I think the ring light is like really important right now, and to make yourself look like the sexiest teacher possible. The videos making the videos on point and whatnot. And right now, Amazon is where I will say go to Amazon. They have this on sale right now for I think like $50 or something like that, and you get quite a bit for the money. So you get a nice ring light. This is the upgraded version of this ring light. You get the phone hub. So if you are going to use your phone in order to deal with this, which makes it like a really attractive option if you don't have a decent webcam on your Chromebook or whatever computer you're using. You need to use your phone to take videos. Uber important right now. And I think for right now and beyond right now. Go ahead, Webs.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was looking for my ring light. There's my ring light. Even if you can't do like a bigger kit, this was like 10, $15, and it's just a clip. So you can clip it to your phone, or you can clip it to the top of your monitor, the top of your Chromebook or whatever, and the camera goes like right through the hole so that when you click it, it lights up your whole face. And it does like 3 settings. It's a chargy thingy with a micro USB. It's pretty basic. So even if you couldn't do something as nice as like the big $50 kit, these are like $15.
So I mean, having some decent lights, like at this
It
point,
makes a huge difference.
but also like going and thinking about life in the classroom after COVID, and hopefully utilizing all of the things that you're learning right now and saying, I'm not going to toss those in the garbage when I have the option to go back and see people face to face. I'm going to utilize that to get ahead in lessons, to make sure that my lessons have that visual appeal, given that I now know how to do some basic edits and things like that with it. So Um, if you get to me, and this is mine right here, I'm slide it back a little bit. You can see the little. This is actually another piece that I have there. I've got my ring light right here over top of my desk. Um, a couple students, and I'm going to try to, make a couple Christmas presents but come through. A couple of my students want to be TikTok fans. They were like, "Hey, I need a ring light." So I'm probably gonna buy a couple ring lights just to ship to those kids because, hey, who knows? I'm gonna be able to hit them up for a couple dollars, hopefully in the next 5 or 10 years, and be like, "Look, Mr. Light got you that ring light. You owe me 100,000. Make sure you pay it back. You pay it back." But so the ring lights would be my next thing. What's one more piece of software, Webs?
You mean hardware?
Hardware, rather.
Let's see. Let me go check. Last piece of hardware. I think my last piece of hardware. Oh gosh. Okay, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because you're really making this hard on me, man.
We got to move to other topics, man.
I know we do. I'm gonna go with the. I'm stuck between the chair and the headset. I'm gonna go with the headset. So I'm gonna go the HyperX gaming headset, and
Why
the
so?
reason why is gamers are very particular about their equipment, and you can capitalize on that. So one of the things I like about a lot of gaming headsets is they've thought through every possible thing that could go wrong. Most gamers play for hours and hours on end, so they don't want their accessories to die. They want to always be connected, that kind of a thing. So for example, that's the headset I'm wearing right now. Oh, I take that back. This one's a slightly upgraded model, but I think this is more reasonable price-wise. I think it's about half the price, but it has all the most important features. So I really like having something that covers my ears so that I can focus on the sound that I'm working on. Otherwise, I get easily distracted. But also the microphone aspect of it. So if you're not going to have a separate microphone, because Mike also has the, what do you have on there? The Meteor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Mike also has the Meteor microphone on there. If you're not going to have a separate microphone, then I think having a nice headset is really helpful. It's helpful in terms of when you're recording video, you can get really good audio because it's close to your mouth. It's a lot easier for people to hear you. Like I said, those earphones cover your ears and block out any auxiliary sound. That also means you are exclusively focused on, what you're recording, what you're listening to. And if you have to share the house with people, you can block those sounds out for the most part. So it's really high quality. There are a lot of great Bluetooth headsets. The problem with most Bluetooth headsets is if they die, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do. So if you do opt, this is actually a Bluetooth headset, but it also has the option to plug in both the headphones and the microphone so that if it does die, I can always default back to, just regular analog connection. And it's pretty high quality when it comes to both the sound and the audio. My current setup, I have a separate microphone. I use a Blue Yeti, like I mentioned at the top. But if I needed to switch back because I wanted to go mobile or I was traveling or something, I could easily do that because this is a Bluetooth headset that has manual connections or analog connections as well. So I think a good headset and microphone, if you're not going to have a separate microphone setup, is so important.
Well, definitely agree, and that's why my last one is the Samsung Meteor mic, just because it's a plug and play. There's no games being played. It's not anything that's gonna like confuse you. It's take it out of the box, plug one in into the headphones and the USB into your computer, and God bless you. And there are no limits to what devices it'll work with. You can plug it into. I've used it with my iPad. So just having my iPad there and just plugging it right into the USB with my iPad using an adapter. And I've had this since I was a DLC. So 7, 8 years, I had the same microphone, not changed them. It's the exact same microphone that I've used for 7 years. And I swear by it. The Meteor mic is amazing. It is relatively inexpensive. I think it's like $70 or something like that. But $70 and I've got 7 going on 8 years out of it. It's still connected to my computer right now, so it is connected to my device, It stays here connected to it. I do all my meetings with it. It does not have to be very close to my mouth at all. Again, I have no microphone on my headphones, so that is where you're getting the sound right now out of. Um, it is my is it the greatest mic on the market? Nope. But in terms of a teacher price point, it is a microphone that you'll be able to purchase once and say whether I'm going to podcast, vodcast, I'm going to do Google Meets or Zooms. I've never had a complaint from my Samsung at all. So I love this microphone. I'm not a person who likes the microphone in the headset combination, just not my jam. That's the only kind of, and I need to add that to our list. The only thing that I would say is it eats up one of your USB ports. So if you have a device that has limited USB ports, first and foremost, buy powered USB ports. That'd be something else to add there. You don't want to deal with having to take your computer, have your computer power your USB devices, especially those that are really greedy. So buying powered ones will give you some extra space. But also give you the ability to expand and improve the quality of anything that's plugged into those USB ports as well.
I think too, it's really important to talk about how important sound is. Like if I am watching a YouTube video and the sound is bad, I will turn it off. And you can believe your students are the same way. Also, the important part here is communication. So if you're working through a really garbage sound setup, either you're using the default microphone on your machine, or maybe it's an older, like not great connected headset that's plugged in via USB, and it sounds all muffled. It makes your message more difficult to hear, and it makes people focus on the quality of your audio instead of what you're actually saying. So while it may seem like a frivolous purchase, I think investing in something that makes it so you can both hear and people can hear you well is well worth every penny that you spend on it.
Absolute facts. And also, though, don't go Googling best microphones to buy because you're going to end up paying a lot of money for a product that you perhaps didn't need. That was one of my biggest problems when I first started getting into wanting to play around with this stuff. I would go follow people who've been doing it for 15, 20 years. They'd be like, hey, buy this microphone. And you're looking at the price point like, that's $300. Well, no, that's the best one on the market. And you're like, okay, let me get the best one on the market. And then I would use my Samsung and I would be like, look, I'm getting nope, not buying that Rode microphone that's $299, even though it's really sexy and it looks pretty, etc. Nah, I don't need that right now. Now, as you grow older in doing what you're doing, hey, yeah, maybe time to go and step your game up a little bit. But it is not, you could do some high quality, excellent stuff without having to pay the Cadillac price for the cutting edge product that happens to be on board.
Right. I'd say grow into that stuff too. And Janine's already on board. Janine's like, I'm down. I'm buying this now. Grow into stuff. Buy, like I mentioned with my standing desk earlier, I bought like the really basic cardboard standing desk on Amazon, and I use it enough that I realized like I do like working at a standing desk. So work your way up to those higher end resources because that way you're not like sinking $300 into a super nice mic that then sits there and collects dust.
Facts, absolute facts. And also, if it's not a purposeful purchase, right? So if you're not someone who's going to say, I'm going to be a remote worker. I'm going to need this every day. This is going to add value to my work product. All right, great. That is the place where you might want to invest a couple more dollars into it. But in terms of just, I just want to look cool with a $500 headset on because I want to go to Google there. That's where it gets kind of silly. So Webbs, in terms of software, what kind of software, if we had to go and switch to that mode, would you say, hey, if you're a teacher person, this is something that you want to get down with?
I'm going to cheat.
What does that mean?
I'm going to say the chair. Because it's technically soft.
That is really horrible.
No, it's amazing. Bring up the chair.
Okay.
All right.
Again,
so
the chair because it's horrible. Because it's soft, rather. Oh my God. Really bad, yo. Anyway, let me bring the
I'm here
chair.
all night, folks. Enjoy the veal.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, so the chair that I mentioned earlier, this is my software pick. Well, one of them anyway, because I do enjoy this chair, and I like the fact that one, I need something that is that I can sit on because I do sit at my desk, and I really like that it's cushy and comfortable. And for me, and I know this isn't a good fit for everybody, but for me, it does like keep me sitting upright because I don't have anything I can like slouch against. And I have it at a height where I can, because I just didn't inflate the ball all the way, so it's at the perfect height where I can sit on it and touch my little fake skateboard thingy balance beam, whatever here. So I really like this chair a lot. It may not be for everybody. Think through if this seems like something that would work for you. Some people just want your basic office chair. But I really like this chair quite a bit. Yeah, exactly. See, Janine gets it. Good for your core, good for your posture. Um, I think that for some folks, depending on where they are with core and posture and things like that, it may be less comfortable. So that's something to keep in mind. But it rolls just like a regular desk chair does. It's cushy. I can bounce on it. So it's also good for fidgeting because apparently I'm a very fidgety worker. That's what I'm realizing for this. But I really enjoy this chair, and this is one of my software picks.
Okay. Now, this again, we do like when people take advantage of guidelines and rules and exploit them because that means you're paying attention. So, software, as in is soft, and you can sit on it. That is, again, I would say that is cheating, but we enjoy cheating here. It's not a problem. Um, One of the biggest complaints I've heard from both teachers and students is the sharing of the screens in Google Meets, in Zoom, and how cumbersome that can be, how you can lose your place. Um, and I'm always big into presentation. Like, you should be doing super dope. This is sexy. I don't want to share my screen with you every 2 seconds because what happens if I've seen this personally happen? You share the wrong tab and you're like, oh, okay, thank God it was something like that was G rated, but that could be a problem, right? Um, so sharing the wrong tab, people have to share their entire screens, and their desktop is really, messy. So how do we go and as educators streamline that process so perhaps you can share your screen at pivotal and important stages, but not just here's my presentation and you're just going to watch my presentations as we go through. So, Webs, my software, my number one software pick would be Prezi Video, just because it is a way to subvert and to circumvent having to deal with a lot of the. I built this in Google Slides, and I'm going to share my screen with you in Google Slides. So, Prezi Video for our teacher friends, it's $39 for the year. It's well worth it. Um, I have it, and I share my account with my wife, who's a principal, and she uses it to do videos and make her videos a lot more spectacular than they would be if she didn't use it. And Prezi Video is just a really simple interface. Only thing would be Chromebooks, it's not going to work because there's a download involved. So if you're working on a Chromebook, not going to work very much. But if you're working on your on a computer that you own, and tis the season to potentially think about upgrading your computer as well. Um, I think that more and more teachers are hopefully going to realize that having a middle of the pack, higher quality computer is probably going to be something that you want to go and make sure that you're invested in because of the fact that hopefully you're going to be utilizing that computer a lot more in your lessons than you did in the past because you're seeing the value in it. And so, one of the things when I'm not using um, some other programs, I use Prezi if it's like, hey, you know what, this is like a really I have to build a presentation really very quickly, and I don't want to have a scenario where I want to go through a whole bunch of kicks and giggles. So I'm going to switch my camera really quick, Webs, to my Prezi video and to kind of show people what this looks like really quickly. So I am going to go there. And let's check this out really quickly just because it's cool. All right, so right now I'm still streaming here. Cool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do that. Bada bing. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that. And so you'll see that on the side here, I've got those words already built in there. And so as I go through, you see how those things pop up really, really nicely for me. All right. And that's just a really cool, it's a great tool for teachers. All right. My presentation's right there on the side, and I can just use my mouse to advance my slides over and over with my words. I can put, links to videos or whatever there. All right, great. That goes all the way through. Again, you got to have a pretty decent computer. My hope is that even if you're a PC person, and we're Mac people here, but if you're a PC person, getting a pretty decent PC will allow you to run all this. It's just a download and rocking and rolling. But I really enjoy, really enjoy Webs utilizing Prezi, especially on a whim, because of the ease of use. And my wife, who is not a technology person at all, also is able to use it very, very quickly to send out messages to her staff when necessary, as well. So it's not software, so well, it's not a super difficult thing to understand. It's just if you can type and you can put pictures and stuff, you're gonna be good to go. So Prezi Video, $39. Go ahead, Webs.
I really like the fact that it centers the person. So you don't have to worry about like shrinking yourself into some tiny little window while everyone looks at your screen. It keeps you there and also shares your message, which I think in a time when we're really struggling to connect with one another on a human level, like it's really nice that that's an option. And just the rise in like what are they called, virtual cameras? Mm-hmm. The rise in virtual cameras has been really cool to see like all the different ways that you can interact with your video software like Zoom and Google Meet and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And so I think the other thing that kind of what Webb just alluded to, this you as the important person in the video, right? Your content is secondary. I know my content, I'm the master of my content. I'm able to tell you what's going on. I think a lot of times when you put that big Google Slides deck there, now I'm looking at the Google Slides. I'm not even listening to you anymore. I'm reading information, and your value is diminished in that scenario. So I think it makes you look like a boss in front of your students because they're like, "Oh my God, how did you do that?"
Or your administrator.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like if you really want to kind of impress the administrator, oh yeah, throw that Prezi video in there and have that person. Oh my God, that was so amazing! Mr. Flames. Oh my God, you're the greatest teacher ever. No, I just typed some words inside a Prezi video and it looks really cool. So that would be my what's something else? Another piece of software, Webs, that is software.
Actual software. I'm going to go with my favorite, quite possibly my favorite app just ever, and that's Todoist. No, I like Keynote more than Todoist, but when it comes to being able to manage my life on the whole, it's definitely Todoist, hands down. I think it's $40 for the whole year to get premium, and it's worth every penny. I love Todoist. It is a to-do manager, and it's available in an application on either iOS or the Google Play Store. It's also available as a download for the computer. It's also available on the web. And so that's one of the things that I love about Todoist is that you can access it anywhere. I have it on my iPad, I have it on my phone, I have it on my computer, I access it through the web. And it is how I keep the trains running on time in my own life. One of the things I love about it is it has natural language processing. So if you just simply type out, get milk tomorrow, it'll automatically set that item as the due date for tomorrow. If you say, clean the microwave every 2 weeks, it'll automatically like set it so that every 2 weeks you get a reminder to clean the microwave. I have projects set up so that I have home projects. I have a whole list of gifts. So when I get gift ideas, I dump those into my gifts project so that I can like keep track throughout the year of good ideas for gifts for people. I use it to remind myself to take my medication in the morning. I use it to remind myself to do things around the house. I dump recipes there. I dump links I want to read later, videos I want to watch later. Everything gets dumped into Todoist, and it's basically the place where I process everything. Also, if you're an achievement person who likes achievements, they have this whole karma score thing. Every time you complete a task, you get karma points, and you get different levels based on your karma points. they're completely meaningless, but sometimes that's motivating. I like seeing my karma points build up. Also, they are an amazing development team. That's one of the things that I love about them too. They release every day, sometimes multiple times a day, which is just so baller. I have applied to work there and been denied, but one day I may actually work there because just like their culture seems great. I love the product they put out. I love how frequently they put it out. You can share. I've only done this a few times, but you can even share with people when you purchase premium. So you can share lists or projects with people. It's just an amazing application that I love. You can look back through old things you've done. You can set goals for yourself. So my goal is to accomplish 3 tasks a day, 15 tasks a week, which gives me the weekends off, and you can do streaks, and it's just a great product. You can tag things, which is also helpful.
Getting like
I have
really really excited about this efficiency stuff, yo. Indeed,
It
indeed.
is one of my favorite topics. Like when you showed me our new project management tool, Nifty, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited." People you don't even know. I've
Indeed.
been waiting for years for Mike to come to me with a project management tool because when I pick the project management tool that he's not on board with, then it doesn't ever go anywhere. So I had to patiently wait and bide my time until he decided that he found a project management tool that he was happy with, and we finally found it, and it has an application, and I could not be more excited.
Indeed, indeed. I mean,
You can tell what my passion is.
indeed. It's just that is why Webs gets paid the big bucks. Uh, in terms of my like last little piece of software deal, it would probably be the Now project, just because like I use it on a daily basis, and I think that if you are someone who is designing things, who likes to design things, who's looking for an opportunity to ensure that you've got the right icons for the right deal. The icon project, the Now project is amazing, um, just because of there are literally thousands of different icons, and there are 3 million icons on here that for anything that you would ever think of. Smaller business, everything's drag and drop to your Apple and to your Google. So you just drag it from their deal or right into the which come. There's a download for your computer. So all my Noun project applications are all on my computer. I just drag them to where I need them, which makes it really convenient. It's $40 for the year. I pay for it every year because that's one of the things I like, the diversity in tech. Really, anybody who puts that front and center on their website, I think is down with me. Um, but also, you're getting high quality icons for $40, as many as I want. Yeah, yes, please, thank you.
Also, I feel like icons are a very easy way to make your stuff look really good. If you throw a couple icons, like you have pictures, but something about that makes it engaging and interesting without being overwhelming. And it's very easy to just go through their search bar and find an icon for something that you're looking for. Because, like Mike said, it has icons for like everything.
The other thing is you also have photographs in here now, so being able to
Oh,
go
dang.
find photos as well. So a big proponent for Unsplash. Unsplash is free, so Unsplash, go go go. But the $40 also gives me access to a bunch of photographs here as well. That will give me high quality, very interesting photographs that I can utilize for my products. And because I pay the $40, somebody has a collection with weird in it. Um, Look at all those. Those are really, really nifty types of icons, especially if you're talking about school. Look at those little weird monster icons that kids would get a kick out of. So there's a lot of if you don't pay, it gets watermarked, and there's pay the money because creative people deserve to get paid, right? So it's
Yeah,
$40.
absolutely.
Pay the $40 if you're gonna deal with it. Um, Creatives deserve to eat as well. And I think that's really, really important in these. If you're in Vegas, it's all good. If
Sorry.
you're in Vegas, a lot of our friends who are entertainers on the strip are unemployed right now because arts are disposable, unfortunately. So, really take some time to reassess what you do for the creative people that you borrow from or inspired by, etc., to ensure that those people are able to pay their bills because that's kind of important.
Also, creative work is a lot. Like it requires a lot, and people should get paid for the work they do.
Absolute facts. I mean,
Koufax really wanted to make an appearance on this episode.
it is what it is. Now, if the Dodgers somehow swing a trade for Ariano, um, first of all, that's cheating. Second of all, they will win another World Series, unfortunately. But
I'd be fine with that.
yeah, okay, I would not be fine with that. All right, best of the rest, Webs. What's something that's not necessarily a pure piece of hardware, pro people software, or a piece of hardware that you didn't get to that you're like, hey, yeah, this is something to make sure that you check out as well.
Gosh, again, this is very difficult. I think, let me make sure I want to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Xiaomi band.
Okay.
So one of the things that tends to happen with people who work from home when they've been used to like being in person somewhere is they tend to sit a lot more than they used to.
Mm.
And prior to having an Apple Watch, I had a Xiaomi Mi Band. Mine was a Mi Band 3. It's a pretty solid like fitness tracker for like 35-40 bucks. It's water resistant, waterproof, whatever. You can buy a bunch of, I even will give you the bands that I have if they fit the Mi Band 5, but you can get a whole bunch of like different color bands and stuff. But it'll buzz you when you need to stand up when you haven't stood up in a while, which is nice. It'll track your steps. I'm sure the Xiaomi Band 5 does a bunch more things. The only problem I ever had with it was when I changed time zones, it would freak out a little bit and overcount my steps. But that's not really a problem if you're not traveling.
Mm.
So that little hiccup aside, and for the difference as far as price, I think this is a nice little thing to pick up or to ask for. So that you have that little reminder of when you need to stand up, walk around. You can see how much activity you're getting, because I think it's important to stay healthy too. And that's one of the big risks of going from an in-person walk around a bunch to being sitting at a desk in front of a computer screen several hours slash all of the day type thing. So that's why I'm going to recommend that.
All right, dope. If I had to recommend something else, and this is going to be on the pricier side, but I'm going to justify the priciness of it, just because I think a lot more educators are going to be getting into video production, and that webs would be a GoPro. And
Huh.
one of the biggest most interesting conversations I've had through email or people calling or whatever is like, yo, I need to do this in-person demonstration. How can I record it? And I'm like, do you have a GoPro? No. If you had a GoPro, you can strap it to your forehead, and then suddenly you can go and record the whole thing. You don't have to worry about anything. And so you can get these refurbished. You can get them on eBay. You get them on, used to be able to get them on half.com. So if you don't buy the newest version of them, it's really kind of cool to have. So I've got my GoPro right here on the side. There's my GoPro there. So I keep it on the side. So when I have to do some some stuff that's gonna, I've gotta put it on my head or put it on my wrist or something like that. You've got my GoPro here. This is it's a Hero 5, Hero 6, Hero 7. Can't even remember what kind of GoPro this one is. But I've had this for a few years. Still works fine, no problems whatsoever. Um, so it is definitely it's worth the investment. They're up to like Hero 8 now, but you have the bundles now, so you can get a Hero 9 for $349, which in the grand scheme of things, you're not going to find a DSLR camera for $349. You're not going to be able to buy a cell phone with a high enough quality camera for $349. And you also get a year subscription to the little online service. So for your creative part of your teaching mind, you get a hand grip, you get the swivel clip, which is really kind of it's magnetic. You get an SD card with 32 gigs on it. You get another battery. You get a case as well. So for $350, worth every penny in my opinion. And I don't have the new one. I'm probably gonna boss up and get me another one for Christmas. But it's a great tool for teaching, especially if you're doing something like my mother's cousin she teaches. uh, I don't, what's the cosmetology. And so she was like, hey, I've got to teach this, and I'm teaching this distance. How can I show them how to do all these techniques and stuff? And I was like, all right, you got a GoPro. She's like, no, taking the GoPro, put it on your forehead and just leaning down, and like you can actually see it in HD. It's going to be really pretty. It's going to be amazing. Go ahead, Webs.
J. Kenji Lopez Alt has an entire YouTube channel where he does, or maybe it's like a section of his YouTube channel where he does point of view cooking. He straps his GoPro to his head, and that's what it is. Like he'll start out holding the camera in front of him and give a little rundown of what he's about to do. Then he puts the thing on his head and he just like goes about cooking. It's super cool and mesmerizing. So if you want a good example of that, like his YouTube channel, I'll put it in the comments. His YouTube channel is a really good example of like that's our link to our thing. What you can do with a GoPro and do point of view.
I've got to do some tutorials with Chromebooks. We just changed from iPads to Chromebooks in certain grade levels, and I'm about to strap that GoPro to my forehead and do all the tutorials where the kids can see my fingers touching buttons and the screen and whatnot. So a lot, if you have to do tactile learning distance, GoPro, I think it's GoPro, or there are a lot of other little action cameras in that same vein. If you just go on Amazon and search action cameras, you'll find cheaper versions of their GoPro. I just like because I think the quality is unmatched and unparalleled. Another suggestion, Webs, if you got one.
Yeah, hold on, let me finish sharing this. Maybe. Oops, how about we not Control B, Command B? Oh, okay. Yeah, my other pick is gonna be, I'm gonna go with the Tribit X Sound Go Bluetooth speaker.
Why so?
And the reason for that is I got some requests early on where people were struggling with like, how do I share audio? And sure, in an ideal situation, you would have like a whole mixing board and stuff like that in order to send your sound from your computer or your phone or whatever into your computer. That's probably out of reach for most people. I use this speaker as either a travel speaker, although I don't travel, so less traveling. Mostly I use it in the shower. It's a tiny speaker with a big sound, and it has pretty good quality sound as well, but it's like $35. So if you want to be able to share audio and not have to figure out how to get your machine audio to send in through through like a meeting or a call or whatever, this is you could just set this little Bluetooth guy, next to your computer setup and use your phone or something to play the audio you want to play, and you're good to go. Or even if you had it connected to your computer and the audio went through there, like you directed just video audio or something to go through there. But it's a really bold, loud sound. It would also be great when you do eventually go back to the classroom to just have a little travel thing you can slip into your bag, so you can bump your music once the kids are gone, or even while students are in your classroom, if you want to have like a decent audio that you can share. It fills up space really well, and it's probably like yay big. It's tiny, but it's powerful. So even not for educational purposes, it's just a nice little Bluetooth speaker to have.
So this is like a freebie, because this is not what I'm going to share. I'm going to kind of pattern off of what Webb just said. So audio is the trickiest thing right now in the environment in which we're working this remote stuff, right? So getting audio, different pieces of audio, make sure there's no echo, anything, sound effects. And so as we've been going on our streaming journey, that has been like my holy grail, is to make sure that we don't have echo and we can play sounds and whatnot, and when we need to, and that everything is good. So for example, all right, cool, there's some applause coming through there. Awesome, so awesome. Now I want to be able, if you want to be able to manage all of your sounds, the tool to buy if you're on a Mac, all right, if you're on a Mac, is this one. And I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. And it's Loopback. And Loopback is it's $100, but it's well worth the price if you're going to be doing this consistently. So Wes and I shoot twice a week, sometimes more than that. It's very important that our audio is on point. So the investment was well worth the money. So it is great. It is a great tool. You can tell your device how you want the audio to be shared from where to where to where to where. So I've got all my stuff set up so that there's no echo back. It's very linear. It's really cool to play around with the different connections and whatnot. So if you have a Mac and you're having some audio problems, Loopback is a solution to your problems more often than not. I had not run into an experience yet in which I couldn't figure out something in Loopback. All right. So for my final little hustle here, in terms of something absolutely positively, I would say to acquire, it is something for teacher who is parent, teacher who has a student that's really interested in kind of the software and how things work and whatnot. Parents, also students if they had their own jobs. And there's two on our little list, but the first one, the one that I kind of swear by, is Kano. And Kano is just it's just dope stuff, and they do a lot of really cool stuff. Another company, I've backed various projects of theirs on Kickstarter, and they have right now 60% off of stuff on for Cyber Monday. uh, they've got webcams you can answer. So instead of buying your kid a little cheap Chromebook, have the kid build their own Chromebook, and you can build your own Chromebook here. So they can build headphones, they can build their own mouse. They've got their little club here, and that computer is what they can build. All right, so it's here. It costs just about as much as your Chromebook is going to cost, 300 some odd dollars, 329, I believe it is. I bought my niece one. I've bought various students at our school one. Um, if you have somebody who's very inquisitive, they want to know how the machine actually works. Building it from something to nothing is really, really kind of cool to see what the parts do, what happens when it doesn't work, and you have to take it all apart and figure out what happens. Um, they got a number of really really cool things here. I bought the Harry Potter. So Eleanor is getting Harry Potter is left at the school unfortunately, but I get the Harry Potter to her. But the 329 for your PC, the webcam, the headphones, and mouse, and a month of the club for 329. That's how much a Chromebook is going to generally cost you after everything. The computer by itself is 299, but that you have the Galaxy, the sensor for the Star Wars sensor. They've got the Harry Potter one. Really, really cool stuff. And it's coming in slowly but surely. So you got the PC, you got the webcam, you got all this really, really cool stuff, and you save $60 if you buy it by tomorrow. So if you've got some kid who likes to tinker with something, buy your niece something that's gonna like keep them playing around. They've got Minecraft built into it, so they're Minecraft heads. They can do that. So here's a bunch of stuff that they have already built into it. And it's really dope. And they're a small business in the UK. They send your stuff to you pretty quickly. You can buy it through Amazon, but buy it through, if you're going to buy it through their actual website. But it's just I don't know, it's a really cool company. Tech Will Save Us is another really cool company like that. I buy a lot of stuff from them as well. And it's cool for that. Even though you're not supposed to have favorite students, you have a favorite student. That favorite student is just like, hey, you know what? I want this kid to have a happy holidays. Let me buy this thing and like ship it to their house and let them go and play around with stuff because they're my favorite student, even though I'm not supposed to have favorite students. So that's the deal. Webs, anything to add? Anything more to like think about?
I'm going to share the link to our list. So you can get all this and more on our Cyber Monday list, which I'll share the link to on all the places now. So there's that. Also, I was thinking another software option might be the upcoming course / working cadre.
So we've got a working cadre, 10 sessions for $20. You're not going to beat that anywhere in life. We're going to be talking about Canvas, utilizing Canvas. We're going to walk you through putting together your course for next school year. So it's not too early to start thinking about next school year. I think right now, while you're in the thick of things and you're making things and ideas are very prescient, it's the best time to start planning for next school year, because if you plan for next school year now, you're going to be laughing in August. You're not going to have the stress that's associated with opening school. Just deal with your procedures and stuff and then call it a day. All your work will be there in Canvas. 10 sessions over 10 Saturdays. We're going to go through every little piece of Canvas, help you build. Like Webb just mentioned, it's going to be a cohort model. So we'll have plenty of friends hopefully with us to walk through as well. We're going to give you some PDFs of walkthroughs. We got some videos and things that are already pre-built and pre-made for you. And you'll have us as a resource from December the 12th when it starts to May the 8th when we end. And hopefully you'll be able to take those courses, develop your own courses, and maybe sell your courses to other people too. So that's the other thing that's the advantage here is we're gonna hopefully teach you the skills, gotta up your Canvas game to insane levels, and then you can just start building stuff out and start flipping them. There's nothing that says that you can't sell a Canvas module on Teacher Pay Teachers or on your own website or whatever. Nothing says you can't do that. Let's go get this money. Teacherpreneurship for people who perhaps can't do things. I mean, again, we don't. I think Webs, we don't charge people an arm and a leg. We look at people and say we're doing it. We're doing it for the culture still. It's $20. That's $2 a session. Where are you going to get $2 a session from, Webs? Who does that? No one.
We do.
For right now, it's half off until December the 10th. If you put half hoodlum inside of the link there, half hoodlum is going to give you 10 sessions for $10. That's $1 a session. Again, you are not going to find value like that ever, 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 ever. But we are teachers. We enjoy teaching people. We need a couple bucks for our time because it's a lot of work. But other than that, we understand you're on a budget. We're on a budget too. Like my mom used to say, we're balling on a budget. So that's what good. Webs, did you throw that link inside there?
Yes, I did.
Indeed. So the link is there. Take a gander. We're gonna be, pumping it for the next couple weeks. Come through. It'll be fun. Hopefully, we'll get a number of people to join us. And our interest is for the state of Nevada, selfishly, to ensure that we have the best teachers in the country. If we happen to help some of our Californian friends and Utah friends and other people not from Nevada, that's always a plus. But we got to make sure Nevada it stays on what's the most improved school system, state school system in the country or whatever it was. So we're trying to make sure that holds true. So Webs, any closing parting gifts, shots, anything?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Hey, it's Webs.
We want the instrumental, we want the lyrics and stuff. Like we want to see this.
It's so much pressure.
Yeah,
it's so much pressure.
Yeah, don't be trying to cheat us on. Don't try to cheat us. Don't cheat us. In terms of Thursday, we'll see Thursday.
Okay. But if I ever make that song, it's gonna be the song we play out to.
That's the outro. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
The outro song. I will be joined by my niece on Thursday to talk silliness like Roblox and the kind of distance learning from a kid's perspective. He's been like really. She made me feel bad for Thanksgiving break, so she will be on. She's sending me pictures of her as in the Guy Fawkes mask from V for Vendetta, so it's kind of intimidating me on social media too. So
I like her already.
I was a little worried. I'm thinking that she's gonna come out with the start priming, saying onomatopoeias with V's and stuff. So yeah. Indeed. But Thursday, we'll talk kind of a little bit about the kids' perspective and then kind of look at her stuff and kind of pivot off of that into things that perhaps we as adults can do to improve their comfort with it. Because just in private conversations with her, she has said some very hilarious things about just like, I'd be playing Roblox while the person teaching. I'm like, I could see that. I could definitely understand that. Like, I too would probably be playing Roblox if I was in 5th grade as well. I would probably be playing Game Boy or something like that. Like literally, I probably wouldn't be attending school very much. So I definitely understand that from a kid's perspective. So we will see you Thursday at 6-ish for that kid's perspective of how things roll. There's nothing else. That's it, ain't it, Webs?
That's all.
That's it. That's all. You guys get out of here. Enjoy your the rest of your Monday Eve, and your Monday morning. Sign up for that Canvas course if you feel the inkling. We will be again. It starts December the 12th. Anybody can attend it. If you're someone who doesn't have a school district Canvas account, Canvas courses are free. Canvas accounts are free. You can utilize their stuff from their site, and we'll kind of get down with you that way. We're going to look at engagement strategies. It'll be a fun time, believe you me. So for Webs, I'm Mike Lang.
For Mike, I'm Web.
Indeed. Peace in the Middle East. What's up to my Basotho people in Lesotho? God bless America. Holleration, toleration in this dance.
Bye, everybody.